everyone, welcome back to the Stitches and Scribbles channel. My name is Erin and I have another Taylor Swift sock vlog for you all today. So starting off with materials, just like with my normal socks, I'm using 2 pairs of size 1 ChiaoGoo needles. These are the red lace line, so just basic size 1 circular needles. And today's yarn was the one that I think I found first that inspired this whole series. This is Stitch Stuff yarn. I now can't remember where I got this. I think maybe it was at a local yarn store in St. Louis, but I can't remember now where I purchased this. But this is the Sunset Shimmer Sock Stuff. Oh no, it's from Cream City Yarn. It says it right on the label. This is Sunset Shimmer Sock Stuff, and Sunset Shimmer must be the color name. So it's 75% superwash merino wool, 25% nylon, 100 grams, 462 yards. This is going to be my pair of socks for the Lover album, as you can probably tell from these beautiful like sunset pastel vibes. I'm very much inspired by the album art, but I wanted to pick a song to be the inspiration for these as well. So I am thinking of using the song Paper Rings as my inspiration. So I'm going to start off with my normal 1x1 ribbed cuff just to give it a little bit of elasticity at the top. And then I'm going to put in some cable designs. And I haven't really mapped out the cables yet, but my plan is to do an XO cable down the middle to be Lover inspired, and do O cables bordering that to be the paper rings. So definitely going to be doing a lot of cabling for this pair of socks, but it should be just the cables down the middle and the rest of it will be in plain stockinette stitch. I'm planning on doing a heel flap and gusset design again, just so that I don't have to think about it. And I think that's it for the intro. So let's get this yarn wound up and split and then start working on those cuffs. Okay, so this is what it looks like with just the ribbing completed. I am working both of these socks in tandem, so I have this one this far, but then on the other one, I did go ahead and complete the leg of the sock. So I'll hold it up nice and close to the camera, trying not to have it set a shadow. I did change my plan for the cables just slightly, but you can see that X and O cable in there. I did decide to leave off the open ring cables on either side of that, just because I was looking at the 2 patterns kind of next to each other and realized that maybe just one would be better than trying to do both of them. So I went with the XO cables, which I think turned out very, very cute. I also wanted to leave these socks fairly short in the leg, so this is probably all I'm going to do for the leg before starting the heel, just because since they're such a summery color, I didn't really want them to be too long or too tall. But here is a close-up of how the yarn is working up in the back. So the back of the sock is just going to be plain stockinette, but I am going to carry the cable down the top of the foot. And once I get my other sock to the same point that this one is at, I will start my heel flap and gusset style heel. So let's get back to knitting. Alright, so in kind of a strange turn of events, I have actually finished my socks. However, before I dive into the socks themselves, I wanted to talk about kind of how we got here and why there aren't very many clips between this one and the last one. So where I left off, I know I had finished the heels on both socks and was starting to knit the foot. And somehow at that point, I both got really busy with family stuff, work stuff, like everything under the sun seemed to be happening all at once. And I also could not motivate myself to work on knitting projects. I was very much like not feeling like working on it. And I put it off for a month because this video was supposed to come out originally in April. By the time you're seeing it, it's now the end of May. So I ended up skipping a vlog for April. I'm also skipping a video in May, but that's a different story. I did not feel like working on it and kind of just let myself have the break and figured if I really was feeling this badly about working on my own project, then that meant it was time to take a break and just chill for a while. So that's what I did. I let myself put it aside. I worked on some other projects when I felt like it, but I didn't push myself to finish them. That led up to Saturday. I'm finishing up this video on a Monday. This last Saturday, I woke up and suddenly was like, I could totally finish these socks this weekend if I wanted to. And there were a couple reasons I wanted to do that. One, I'm about to leave on a trip on Tuesday. By the time you're seeing this, I'm already back from said trip. But on that trip, I was like, I don't know, I'll just take an easy knitting project, maybe like some Christmas sock knitting, something easy to work on. And my husband was really nice and really supportive and asked why I wasn't bringing a pair of Taylor Swift socks to work on with me. And I said like, oh, like I need to finish my Lover socks before I can start another pair. Like, I don't know. And I said, I don't know if I want to film in the car, but he was very supportive and very encouraging and said maybe I should just pack it anyway. And I could decide in the car if I wanted to film it or not. So long story short, I've decided I do want to film my next pair of Taylor Swift socks on the road because I think that'll be a fun twist on the next video. But that meant that I kind of had to finish the current socks before I left. So that's what I did. I powered through Saturday and Sunday. I decided not to worry about filming more clips because I could always explain what I was doing at the end. And that is what I did. So a couple things about these socks. One, I know they look weird. They're really long and really skinny. I still need to block them. The cable pulled in a lot more than I was expecting. But we do have that beautiful cable running down the front. I did my normal toe decreases and they're kind of shorty just above ankle socks. These do fit, even though they look really misshapen and like incorrect in dimensions, they do fit. One thing I learned is that maybe when I make cables, I should in fact size up in the number of stitches I do across. Not so much because I won't be able to get them on. That was the other thing too. I was fighting a cold for part of this delaying the video situation. Not so much because they won't fit, but it does distort the cable slightly when I like stretch it onto my foot. Not bad, like you can still tell what it is, but in the future I think I will add some stitches when I'm doing cables. And the reason I know this for sure is that my toe, where I stop doing the cables, like flares out slightly right at those points. So definitely a learning experience with doing a center cable on these. I will add more stitches next time, or maybe even size up a needle size if it's an all over cable pattern, something like that. But I do love how the colorway turned out. I'm going to hide my face so that it focuses on the sock itself. I think that these turned out absolutely gorgeous. So excited to wear them. And I was thinking about like what to call them because originally I wanted them to be the paper ring socks, and in addition to the XO cable down the middle, I was going to do little like ring cables. And I didn't do that because I thought that having two different cable patterns directly next to each other wouldn't suit this design very well. And I do stand by that decision. I also debated just calling them the Lover socks. But here's where my like brain and how I interpret colors is getting in the way of that plan. So when I think of the song Lover on the Taylor Swift album, even though it's still like the cloudy, bright colors, I picture that more as like sunset colors. It's like deeper oranges, really deep, vibrant pinks, like a golden yellow. Not so much like this. This is very like candy hearts, sugary, like more like the album cover in color. So I'm still going to call these the paper ring socks because they just fit the vibe of that song so much more. They're bright and fun and colorful and like kind of, I don't want to say childish because I don't think that song is childish, but it's the upbeat, like romanticized, like first falling in love kind of vibe, like conversation hearts. And even though I didn't do the plain ring cables, there are still rings hidden in that XO cable pattern. So these are still going to be known as the paper ring socks. And I think that's it for this video. Finally, after filming this for like 2 months, I will finally be done with this video. But thank you for sticking with me. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any more questions about these socks or any of this process, leave them in the comments below. I will also link the cable pattern that I used for these socks. It was a free stitch pattern off of a blog, so I'll make sure that that link is in the description box as well. And I hope you join me for my next pair of Taylor Swift socks. I'll even give you a sneak preview into the colorway that we will be using. Got vibrant gold, some pops of like pink, blue, black, white. Very exciting colorway that I will be taking on the road with me. That's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked what you saw today, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can be notified of all my crafty content right here on YouTube. And if you want to follow me on other social media sites, that info will be in the description box below. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.